Bill, I just realized I should be filming this for you. I am making... Let's turn that down. Let's turn that off for a minute. I'm making split pea soup. So I've just chopped a bunch of onions and I'm cooking them until they are translucent in a pressure cooker. If you don't have a pressure cooker, you can still do this. It just takes a little longer. Let's put the fan back on. Right, so these are split green peas which have been soaking in water for a few hours. Don't ask me how many. So, one onion, a bunch of split peas, and chicken stock. So we get some chicken stock. We're going to pour that in a bit. I really should have got my tripod. Oh well, I'll just have to make do. So, what else do we need now? Those are still cooking nicely. My assistant is helping. Say hello to Bill. Yes, that was very nice. She said hello. Colander. So I need to strain off the water. It's very difficult to cook one-handed. Need to strain off the water from the peas. Give them a little rinse. Just get the other ones out. Actually, this is vaguely a recipe that's in that high school girls' cookbook from Trinidad. I've just got minced garlic. I've just realised that I'm going to put in some vegetable broth as well. Now, you don't actually have to put garlic in, and if you feel like it and you don't happen to have minced garlic available in the fridge, you can put fresh garlic in. You just have to chop it or press it yourself. So now, I was told by a chef in Morocco that you really shouldn't put garlic and onion. You shouldn't cook garlic and onion together in the same dish. Two reasons. One, because of flavours, which I think is a load of bollocks. You're allowed to do whatever flavours you want. But I'm just making sure my fingers aren't on the microphone. But more importantly, they have garlic burns at a much lower temperature than onion. So if you put them in together, the garlic will burn before the onion will cook. Hang on, I'm just trying to talk amongst yourself. Talk amongst yourself for a minute. I'm trying to sort out this garlic because I've got a little bit left in this pot. And maybe we'll combine that with a little bit from this pot, and then so I'm putting that in now because the onions are nearly cooked. So the garlic won't have time to burn. You see? There we go. So that's that one. Edit this bit out, and that's that one. Right, let me pick you up again, make sure I haven't got my fingers on the microphone. So, the onion was nearing completion, so I just tossed the garlic in, actually turn the temperature down a bit. Right, so over here we got our peas, split peas, not garden like frozen peas. And what did I come over here for? I came over here for something. Oh yes, we have this stuff, which I like to put in as well. It's called Better Than Bouillon. Basically, it's a stock cube, but I'm going to, in addition to the chicken stock and the vegetable broth, I'm going to put in a stock cube because I find it helps it coagulate somewhat. Onions are just about there. Exciting. So this is where I have to put you down again. I'm going to go get my spoon. So this is the equivalent of, let's say, a stock cube. Put that in there. Now you need to put hot water on that from a kettle. We happen to have instant hot water, so there you go. That's made a little bit more stock. I just find putting in a bunch of different stocks just adds to the fun. You can do this just with plain old chicken stock if you wanted. My assistant's gone. She's been working her way through this big cardboard box from our new telly. Yeah, that's all you get. So where were we? Right, it's time to put the peas in. Actually, I think I was a little bit over enthusiastic with the peas. Normally I do, let's say, a cup of peas and then a bunch of stock. But I think I got a bit enthusiastic this morning because I had a packet of peas and there were some left, so I figured might as well stick them all in. So I figure here, this feels like about 2 cups of peas. So you bunch those in, give it a stir so that it doesn't burn. I think we can switch off the fan now. Right, so got a few stragglers here as well. So let's just round these chaps up, put them in. There we go. Now, if you have these are like oil containers for your car. You don't pour it that way. You pour it with the spout at the top. That way the air can get in. That's why it's put there and not put in the middle. You see, and it doesn't glug as badly as if you do it that way. It glugs, it glugs. So there, if you have the spout at the top, it just pours out nicely. So there's a bunch of chicken stock. The reason why I prefer stock to the vegetable stuff is just a broth, so it doesn't have the same glutinous effect that the chicken stock does, and you'll end up with a thinner soup. So the more stock you've got, the thicker your soup will be, because of all the crap that comes out of the bones, which is also why I add the Better Than Bouillon. So we'll stick that in. And we will turn up the heat. So there is no magic number to how much liquid you put in here. It's a bunch. If you want to look in the recipe book, I'm sure they will give you quantities. I just never really bother with that kind of stuff. And I know there's marks. You can see there's 2 little marks on this pressure cooker. I can go up to the first one with peas. So I'll just pour a bit of water in, and then we are good to go. So that is more or less that, except we've got to put stuff in it now. So I got told off the other day because I put too many whole peppercorns in. But I like whole peppercorns. So keep moving around. So those are just regular black peppercorns. Bung them in like that, and they will swell up and they are nice and chewy when you find them in your soup. Oop, not too much. So, oop, you're upside down. Handful of salt. Probably don't want all of that in there. We'll put some of that in there. All right. So that's the basic seasoning. And then I just kind of make it up as I go along. Cumin, or come in. So, cumin. Just put a bunch of that in. Curry powder. I've got curry here somewhere. Curry. So this is very difficult one-handed, you know. So curry powder generously. Now I put, I think it was, oh no, it was cayenne pepper I put in the other day. I put cayenne pepper in. I got told off for how much I put in, so we'll put a little bit less in because it was a little spicy. And I think that's it. I think I put coriander in, but who knows? I think we'll leave it at that. But secret ingredient, a couple of bay leaves. So just a couple of whole bay leaves. Toss those in. Give it a stir. Now, if you're using a pressure cooker, you just close it up. Oh. Close it up, put the heat on high until it gets up to pressure, and then you're off to the races. If you're doing it in a regular saucepan, you just have to get it to come to a boil and then let it simmer probably for a couple of hours, I think, in order to break down all those lovely peas. But in the pressure cooker, this will take 25 minutes. I can go sit in the hot tub. Now, ordinarily, you would have a glass of wine at this point, but I am not drinking. You say hello to the wife.
Hello to the wife?
Yep, there you go. See? My assistant, still asleep. Can't even bother to say hello. And then we come back in 20 minutes or so, and we see what we've got. Now, I'm not sure if there's much point showing you how this pressure cooker works, because they're all a little different. But basically you just have to wait until this thing starts rocking from side to side, and then you know that it's up to pressure. Anyway, I'm now going to go sit in the hot tub, and I'll check back in a few minutes. So here we are sometime later. As you can hear, time's up. But unfortunately, this pressure cooker doesn't have a quick release valve, so you just have to switch it off and wait. But I cheat. That's the pressure relief valve. That's the way you get hot soup all over yourself. I'll wait for a few minutes and then just let it cool down a little, and then we will open it up. So it's a little bit later. I've cooled it off a bit under the cold tap, but you can see we've still got lots of pressure in it. And this is a really good way to steam up the lens and to get hot soup everywhere. The only trouble doing this, it actually blocks up the valve. But you can hear the pressure is going. Now, this one has a safety mechanism that you can't open it while it's under pressure. Here we go. I can hear that it's getting, the force of the steam coming out is less and less. Soon that little silver valve thingy will drop down. There you go, it's dropped down, so we can open up. Oh, that handle's hot because of all the steam that's been coming out. So what do we have? We have a hot handle. So let's grab a tea towel and let's have a first look at our soup. There you can see the peppercorns. And what you may find, I think that's the case here, but I'm not going to worry about it. If it's not completely cooked, you can either keep cooking it or you can stick it in the blender. That's what you call a Japanese girl with a food mixer on her head, blender. This looks really good, actually. Now, what you find is when you first cook it, it's really runny. You see how this is completely liquid? As it cools down, it goes solid and you get quite a thick soup. So don't be perturbed if your soup seems a little runny. And at this point, you check for seasoning and add salt and pepper if you wish to taste. Not too much salt, not good for you. And enjoy. But that is how you make split pea soup. Now stay tuned to this channel because I'm going to be doing a very special dish for you to learn on Christmas Day. It's not a typical Christmas dish, but you'll just have to wait and see. It's French. It's a galette. Anyway, that's it. See you later. So there you go, one nice bowl of pea soup, and I put a big dollop of Philadelphia cream cheese. but it's a third less fat. So I put in, if it's a third less fat, I'd have to put in the reciprocal of 67% more to make up for it.
Why?
So then I'd get all the fat.
You don't need all the fat. That's the
And it's best served with a nice piece of fresh bread, which which I made earlier.
Not.
How's the soup?
Good. I prefer it thicker though, as you know. So tomorrow will be perfect.
There you go. Tomorrow will be perfect. It's now a day later, and just to show you what this is like after it's been refrigerated overnight, remember how runny it was? Look at that, it really stands up for itself now. So it's really yummy. Anyway, hope you enjoy. Bye-bye.